Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara. Today, we're focusing on the ongoing conflict in Sudan, where a power struggle between the army and the paramilitary rapid support forces has led to famine, ethnic killings, and mass displacement. The United States has presented a proposal for a truce, but neither side has formally accepted it. According to U.S. Senior Advisor for Arab and African Affairs, Masad Boulos, the Sudanese army has come back with preconditions that are impossible to achieve, while the rapid support forces have unilaterally declared a cessation of hostilities. The conflict erupted in April 2023, and despite previous efforts led by the United States, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates, a lasting solution has yet to be found. The U.S. proposal builds on a previous plan submitted in September, but the Army's chief, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, has criticized it, saying it sidelines the army and grants the rapid support forces legitimacy. The situation on the ground remains dire, with reports of atrocities committed by both sides. The United Nations has welcomed the rapid support forces' declaration of a ceasefire, but emphasizes that it must be upheld and that civilians must be protected. The international community is calling for an end to external financial and military support to the warring parties. As the situation continues to unfold, we will keep a close eye on developments and bring you updates. For now, it's clear that a peaceful resolution to the conflict in Sudan will require careful diplomacy and a commitment to protecting civilians. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're diving into a significant development in international news as Pope Leo XIV embarks on a pivotal trip to the Middle East. This journey is marked by several key events, including the commemoration of the 1700th anniversary of the Council of Nicaea, a gathering that holds profound importance for Christian unity. The Pope's visit comes at a time of heightened regional tensions, with ongoing conflicts and security concerns in both Turkey and Lebanon. His itinerary includes a prayer session with Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew, underscoring the Vatican's efforts to bridge the divide between Eastern and Western churches. This gesture is particularly noteworthy given the historical significance of the Great Schism of 1054. Moreover, Pope Leo XIV's trip offers an opportunity for him to address pressing issues such as Catholic-Muslim relations and the dwindling presence of Christians in the Middle East. His stance on regional conflicts, including the situation in Gaza, has garnered attention and is expected to be a point of discussion during his visit. In Lebanon, the Pope will visit the site of the devastating 2020 Beirut port blast, where he will spend time in silent prayer. This act is seen as a powerful gesture of solidarity with the Lebanese people, who are still seeking justice and accountability for the tragedy that claimed hundreds of lives and caused widespread destruction. As the Pope navigates these complex geopolitical landscapes, his message of unity, peace, and support for the afflicted is being closely watched by leaders and citizens alike. The visit highlights the Vatican's commitment to promoting dialogue and understanding in a region fraught with challenges. With the Pope's trip underway, the world waits to see how his words and actions will impact the delicate balance of relations in the Middle East. As we continue to follow this story, it's clear that the implications of Pope Leo XIV's visit will be far-reaching. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara. As we wrap up today's show, we're going to dive into a developing story that's been making headlines around the world. The situation in Venezuela has been escalating, with the U.S. increasing its military presence in the region and accusing Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro of leading a narco cartel. Now, I want to provide some context here. The U.S. has been imposing sanctions on Venezuela for years, citing concerns over human rights and democracy. But many experts argue that these sanctions have only worsened the humanitarian crisis in the country. Meanwhile, Cuba has accused the U.S. of seeking a violent overthrow of the Venezuelan government. calling the increased military presence an exaggerated and aggressive threat. It's a complex situation, to say the least. On one hand, there are legitimate concerns about Maduro's leadership and the impact it's having on the Venezuelan people. On the other hand, any military intervention by the U.S. could have disastrous consequences, including loss of life and destabilization in the region. As we consider the various perspectives on this issue, it's essential to remember that the situation in Venezuela is not just about politics, it's about people's lives. The economic crisis has led to food and medicine shortages, and many Venezuelans are struggling to survive. I want to go back to a quote from Douglas Farah, a national security consultant who advised the U.S. government on Venezuela during Trump's first term. He said, "I think that we're going to start blowing things up. I think we have to do something because there's too big a force there to not do something." This kind of rhetoric is alarming, and it's crucial that we consider the potential consequences of any military action. As we move forward, it's essential to prioritize diplomacy and dialogue. The international community must work together to find a peaceful solution that respects the sovereignty of Venezuela and addresses the humanitarian needs of its people. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.